1971, Duel, it's now 50 years old. It's about time, Charlie! Remember that quote?
I do.
Yeah, he remembers that quote. Did you like Duel, Tom?
I loved it. I loved it.
A belated response.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
What do you think about Duel?
I watched it when I was 16, when I was fresh in Exeter College, as we all were, and I was really... Baby, yeah. I was really into Spielberg at the time. Probably my favourite director, actually. It was my favourite director for a long time. And I'd heard about this really interesting, straightforward action film, TV movie, of course, set in roads of California. Watched it, loved it, despite having 2 litres of Pepsi in my blood, which made it really difficult to survive.
Incredibly energetic.
I watched it again 5 years later, and I loved it even more.
Oh, nice.
How about you?
It's okay.
This is where we...
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's an alright film.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Is this a masterpiece? No. Is it really that good? No. Do they reuse shots over and over again in this film? Yes. Woo! I lost track of where they were, what they were doing. It got boring with the tension because it's literally the same thing. Oh, I'm gonna bump into you. Oh. No,
that is why. I think Tom will agree with you. That is why it's only an hour and a half.
I mean, if that was a 2.5 hour film,
yeah. Like that type of film can't be 2 hours. Like you'd lose it at that point.
Even an hour and a half's a push.
I don't think so. It's the
you lose the bus scene. That's pointless. What's the point of that?
Which scene?
The bus scene, helping out the kids. It's like what?
For me, that informs character because he's always been a selfish character, and for the first time in the movie, he has to think about someone else when he's preoccupied with trying to outdrive the anonymous driver.
Yeah, and if you're going to keep it to that length,
and then it breaks the driver's character because he helps the kids. In the end, it's like, so what? This guy is just after this guy for no reason because he loves kids. He's a massive pedo. He's a nonce.
No, because the anonymous driver actually helps out. It's got nothing against the kids. He's the one who actually helps and gets the bus moving again.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah, no. What you're saying is why is he helping?
Why is he helping? There's no payoff there.
That's true. That is true. What have you got?
No. You looked at me there for like, fuck, help me out. I think. I get what you're saying with that. However, the tension throughout for me, that's what the film is. It's not. It's meant to be like an experience.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I think it's very tense.
I've got a narrative.
Like you're going back and forth with this. The big thing for me
was
the
second back and forth. You
think it's too much?
You know he's never going to hit him.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's an hour and a half left of the film, and you get into that straight away with 15 minutes, which is good writing. But after...
So what are you saying?
After he drives off and then he catches back up, it's like... And then they do the little bit of come on, like...
Yeah.
You know, they're not actually going
but there is like a progression though of the main character. What's the main character called?
He is called David Mann.
Yeah. So like the more it carries on, the more sweaty he's getting, the more panicky he's getting. Right. That's a progression.
That's the thing.
Then, you see that. So I feel like it does. When you said, I didn't think about repeating shots, but like when it does repeat shots,
literally uses the same part.
I do get
over
that.
and over again.
But because there is a progression of stuff happening, for me, like that, I wasn't like bothered by that. I felt like actually I'm still with this, like getting more and more tense.
And also there is a narrative explanation I can give as to why the anonymous driver, helps out with the bus because. There is this inner monologue that David Mann has when he's going to the bathroom at the diner, and it's the first time we get a sense that he's feeling as if everything's inside his head.
Yeah, I want to talk about that as well.
Yeah, he's sweating profusely, he doesn't know if he's envisioning this. It just about toys with reality enough without getting ridiculous. And so when the anonymous driver is helping out the bus, it just reinforces that it could all be in David's head.
Exactly.
Because the kids could be, oh, look at that nice man helping the bus.
Yeah, no, so he's getting contradicted by the driver, like, what's he doing? Like, he's actually helping him now. And then,
where does that narration come from as well? Because, like, it literally came out of nowhere.
It did.
I was sat there like,
it jumps in. It jumps
in the bathroom with him.
You do have to adjust to it, I will admit.
And the fact it doesn't use it again is a bit like...
It literally just does it in the cafe. And then while he's driving, it goes... He's like screaming, but his mouth's like...
Yeah.
I think if it isn't obvious enough, Bailey does not like Spielberg that much, does he?
I think you do like Spielberg, but like you don't.
But
like
I couldn't tell it was Spielberg while I was watching it, so I didn't have that
effect. Yeah.
I was literally just criticising
that film.
The film.
It could have been done by fucking.
It could have been done by I don't know. Who's a
Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
X-Men 3.
There we go. It could have been done by Brett Ratner, and I would have fucking still hated it.
Just don't like that.
Kubrick could have done it, and I would have hated it.
Kubrick would have had it split into two halves, where the first half is the driving, and
they
then
would have shot on a NASA lens.
But I wanted to.
I want the remake to be like that.
I want to talk about a diner scene though, because I feel
the
like
best
we're
scene in the film. Yes,
is the diner scene. The diner scene is brilliant.
It is.
Like, I think
he threw my sandwich.
Yeah, it's just like him
now I
sat on the table.
Yeah.
Him sat on the table and everything. I think it's very good.
It
but
feels
I feel like we liked Duel because
I love it.
we felt tense. I think that's the big. It's a tension builder.
Yeah, because I have a note to make about how it's actually quite an influential film in terms of the way it personifies its threat, because that threat has no motivation, which is identical to Michael Myers and Halloween. One morning he just wakes up and kills his sister. There is something inherently frightening about pure evil that cannot be understood. And I like that there's that detail on the truck, how he's got all of the different license plates. And it's just, you get a sense of, it's the trophies, a bit like Predator.
Yeah,
he's keeping all the trophies.
Also, the flammable bit on the truck.
Yeah, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You think it's going to blow up and it doesn't.
Yeah,
it does blow up at the end when he drives off the cliff for no reason.
So this is what I like, because I feel like we all slightly agree on the ending a bit.
It's not a perfect film.
No, the ending for me is where it lets itself down a bit.
Yeah.
Because there was so many thoughts going through my head, this is how it's going to end.
He's jumped out of the car. He's jumped out of the car, he's going to be behind him. No, he's still driving off the cliff in there.
Did the thing blow up? Does it blow up at the end?
Yeah.
It's left mysterious because
remember.
Spielberg in the documentary explains that they had about 5 different cameras set up, and in the end they just chose one of it slowly falling down.
I like that shot.
It's a lovely shot.
Yeah,
I mean, to get that done in one take as well.
You
don't actually see the driver dead. You see a bit of blood.
No, yeah.
And some have theorised that he has now been immortalised. His spirit is with the car, which is interesting.
That is interesting, actually.
Which is interesting.
You see the door slightly open as well when he goes. So I thought he jumped out and then.
He was going to go because he was grabbing for stuff. You get that shot, and he's grabbing for stuff in the cockpit.
Yes,
he's like that, and then what's he doing there? Is he speeding up? He's not braking because the car isn't braking.
Yeah.
Also, he sees.
He's got a fucking brake.
He sees David Mann. What's his name? David Mann.
David Mann.
He sees him on the thing. He still drives into his fucking car and then keeps going for another 200 meters off the cliff. It's like, is this guy actually?
It's road rage. That's what I really.
He's lost it. His head's gone now. His head's gone. But
I will give it its praise though.
Yeah.
The simple narrative is good, but then it is also kind of a negative.
Downfall.
You think it could have been?
It's so simple. It's brilliant, but it's brilliantly flawed.
No, I respect that.
Yeah.
In many ways, yes. It's an incredibly simple film, and I think by contemporary standards, that is so refreshing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realise J.J. Abrams produced a film called Joyride, which is a remake of Duel, except they've given the driver a motivation, they have too many characters, and what else I do not know. No. And that's why I like that the first shot of the film is a fade out from black, isn't it? The car pulling out of the garage, and it's straight into it.
I like the opening sequence is nice.
And you don't need all of the back story. You don't need anything really. You don't need
anything of the backstory, but then he has a chat with his wife.
One scene, and it does kind of
just gives you a little sense though of what he's trying to get.
His wife was being touched up at a party, and now this lad doesn't even care.
It's all about.
He's lost it. Then,
here's the thing: it has one hand on trying to be really clever in subtext about, he's called David Mann. He needs to man up.
Yeah.
Which he kind of does by the end. He does
take on the
Darren
Darkinger.
For context, years ago we made Mutual Distance, didn't we? Yeah, you were Leon Lightyear. Dan Darkwood.
Yeah.
And Darkwood. That's why I like Duel, because it does spare you from subtext.
Yeah,
sometimes you just want to watch a cool film about a truck.
Yeah, and I think for your first feature as well, that's a pretty.
I will watch it again because I did enjoy it, but it's one of those films that I will only watch because it's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be citing it in my thesis.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This talk for me has reminded me, it's not a perfect film. I think on Letterboxd I gave it a 10 out of 10, which was perhaps a bit, a spare of the moment.
Bit of 5 stars, didn't you?
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
There is one thing I do have to say. The score works for the film, it's quite atonal, but it's not memorable. You're not humming the theme like Indiana Jones.
I couldn't even hum it to you now. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean that bit of music that comes in and out throughout the film weirdly?
Lots of kind of musical instruments.
I did like
it together.
Maybe. I just no, I like to me now I couldn't even hum you the score right now. Like, I couldn't even really think of it. But there is that like undertone of tension. And like I just think it does very well at being tense, and it films it very nice. The sound as well, I think, is really good.
Really nice.
Sounds really good.
Cinematography fantastic.
So, like the and then the car, and then going back on. It's nice. Like
once again, pre-CGI era, where everything is filmed
physically,
real locations, where the truck actually has weight to it. I talk about kind of casting for the truck. That is a brilliant truck.
It's a great.
It literally dwarfs the little
It's
Cadillac.
a good truck. And like there's not a lot of dialogue as well, which is good, and it's kind of just very visual film. But
it's a precursor to Mad Max, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. This is what I was talking to you actually.
Yeah.
You like Duel.
Yeah. But I don't like Mad Max.
You don't like Mad Max, but it's pretty much the same thing.
I feel like it's very different.
Fury Road is
I feel like Mad Max is
but it's still chasing through.
It's true.
But I like Duel Story. I don't like Mad Max.
Fair enough.
You know why? Mad Max is just way too too crazy.
Fury Road has about 10,000 gallons of steroids pumped into its screenplay.
Yeah.
Whereas Duel is actually quite restrained by comparison.
I feel like.
What's that?
One page, he drives.
Like,
it's a simple story.
Other than the diner, like, who else do you see, really? You just see the truck and his car. And
I'll be with you in a minute!
And then maybe kids. So it's just very sort of simplistic and low-key.
Also, those kids gave me the fucking creeps, man.
They were annoying.
So annoying.
I was like...
He's trying to help you, leave him alone.
That's another thing as well. Like, he's really helping them, and then they're like being proper asses, aren't they?
I know, it's really sad, bless him. Yeah, because
he had a bad day.
Because in many ways, I mean, I don't mean this in a negative way. Often when they say, "Oh, it reminds me of a student film," people use that in the negative connotation, don't they?
Yeah.
But this reminds me of a really good student film that anyone could make.
Yeah.
Simple concepts. Using real locations, limited resources, brilliantly done.
Other than the truck flying off a massive cliff is like.
It needed to explode. You could do that with models.
Yeah. I suppose, you could.
It needed to explode. That is my biggest problem with it. It says flammable on the back.
Yeah. It needed a punchline at the end. Like a punch, like after that, like build.
Yeah.
You need something other than.
Bye, buddy.
Is that the line he says? Isn't it? Okay. Oh, I thought he says some weird line, doesn't he, as he goes off the cliff?
No, he says nothing. He's totally deranged by the end of it. He's kind of...
Oh yeah, also, there's one other thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't address the fact that he's just kind of...
Killed a man?
Well, he's sat there on the edge, and I quite like that he's almost rather deranged, sat there, rocking back and forth like a granddad.
Actually, I will say, it's very, like you said about student film.
Yes.
I agree that it's very student film-esque, and anyone could make it, but it reminded me too much of a student film.
Fair enough.
With those big things where it's like he's sweating, he's getting all a bit too manic, he's drinking loads of water because he's stressed, and he's in the morning.
Quite in your
face.
He's like,
It's all a bit too over.
In your face a bit.
It's all a bit like it's all a bit like Spielberg doesn't really know what he's doing.
Right.
To the point where it's kind of really childish and not actually like.
What's the phrase?
A master
for that?
of film.
What is the phrase for it?
I understand it was his first film, but
let's help Tom out. What word are you looking for?
Like,
describe to
it's
us.
like in your face. It's like
overt.
No.
That is literally what it means. Overt.
No, but like it's something like
uneducated.
No. Let me figure this out.
This will be an extra.
It will come back to me, but like it's like it's too over the top.
Inexperience.
Inexperience?
Yeah.
No. Well, Spielberg probably is inexperienced at that point.
Because it's his first film.
Yeah.
Hey, he's doing better than us.
To be the master of film.
Master.
Yeah.
It's not a brilliant debut. Whereas
it's pretty close to me.
There are other debuts which are actually
like maybe Hereditary or something like that. Yeah, but
it's unfair to say that really, because Hereditary has so much more tech at its disposal to make it more technically proficient, whereas Duel is 1970.
Yeah, but that's not
this is
Ari Aster's fault.
I'm not saying it is his fault. I'm not casting judgment, but I'm saying Duel is
that's true. Yeah,
it's 50 years.
I think as like a first your debut feature film, whatever you've been doing before, like that is a very good film.
Considering as well,
at that time, like.
It's very easy to look at action films and say, oh, I could have done that shot better, but can you actually imagine being on the set and actually dictating in your mind how shots are going to play out, how the scenes are going to flow? Oh, yeah. Spielberg basically had a map of the LA mountains and was saying, scene 1's going to be here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to film it like this. So to so intricately pull off that film, irrespective of its flaws.
I want to watch the documentary.
You've got it on your Blu-rays.
Yeah, of course.
That's the good thing about Blu-rays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which we said on a previous episode, which we totally didn't recall today.
Yeah.
Can I also say as well, I don't mean to hog this, but the truck driver does rank up there as one of the greatest villains of all time for me, alongside Feathers McGraw from The Wrong Trousers.
You love him.
Love Feathers McGraw.
I agree with that.
I've got him as a plushie. Robert the Tyre from Rubber.
Rubber,
the film about the rubber tyre. The killer tyre.
Never seen it.
The killer rubber tyre. It's great.
Killer Rubber Tyre, what's it called? Rubber?
Yeah, it inspired Force Action.
Oh man.
You've got, Tom will love this, The Hood from Thunderbirds.
Oh my god.
What a villain.
What, Ben Kingsley?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
He doesn't waste any time, he's just, I want the money.
Yeah. His facial expression, that 2 hours does not change at all. He is like the man.
The best twist of all time, Scrappy Doo and Scooby Doo. You don't see it coming. The little scratch of Emile Monteverus, love it. And Comrade Black from the best game of all time, The Blob. I rest my case.
The Hood I like, that's a good one.
I can't agree with any of them.
Can't agree with them.
I can agree with Feathers.
Yeah.
But the truck driver is not Feathers level, I'm afraid.
No, I'm not saying that. Feathers McGraw.
I would say the truck.
Yeah,
the truck is more the truck than the truck driver.
Yeah, the truck driver's got his arm.
Oh yeah,
hat.
Push back.
Oh, his sexy boots.
Yeah, I do like the way in which you're so desperate to get a glimpse of him, and you never do. You're kind of looking through, going,
Yeah, and it just gives you a little enough, doesn't it?
It does.
Like seeing.
Yeah. Very much like Halloween, actually. Though Halloween, of course, came 7 years later.
No.
Final thoughts on Duel then? Obviously, Bailey's been the passing.
Bailey's against it. I think we're on it, aren't we?
No, you know what? To Bailey's credit, I will say, I went in with this saying it's a 10 out of 10 film. And your flaws have admittedly made me reevaluate. It's not perfect, actually. It's brilliant, I still love it.
The repeat of shots, the moment you said that, I was like, because like the back and forth, it does, after the kid scene, it does repeat.
Also, there's a bit, I just remembered, it's a bit where he's driving, he gets like knocked off the road slightly, kind of like drives slightly into like a bush. Hits his face, and the thing is covered in blood. So it's like he's literally just brushed a branch.
That's true. Yeah. As you said, it does have traits of a student film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you still like it in spite of its flaws?
Yeah, I like the fact that that's Spielberg's first film. That's where he like came from, and that it can be. I was like going in to know that it's not going to be a perfect film.
I would dare anyone to try and compete with that as a debut, because I made Garden Greetings. Oh no! You made Hidden, and you made. Oh, it's deleted.
Well, it's short films.
What's that?
That's only short films.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I wonder what Spielberg did before Duel.
Debut feature.
Oh right, Mr. Pedantic.
So what's your debut?
I haven't made a debut.
No, debut. Well, debut shorts.
Debut short. What's your debut short?
Debut short was.
Where are the average going? There we go. So,
did I lean in a bit then as well? I don't want to cover your face on this
fine.
camera. Okay, we're all good.
No, these episodes, now that technically we're okay.
Technicality.
They'll come out alright.
Got the job on the technicality.
Right, number 3. Ready?
Can't fill the bags.
That was brilliant.
That was great. That was good, mate.
Yeah, no, seriously, baby, thanks. Because I actually have come to appreciate it's not perfect.
No. The repeat of shots.